Hey everyone, hope you all are doing well in this crazy ass energies that we are in right now, post the eclipse of March 29th. It's been a lot of planets hanging around in Pisces. That's what's creating all this ups and downs that we are experiencing right now. Anyway, I wanted to personally touch base with all my listeners. I'll be doing some series of voice notes like this going forth so that there is a more personal touch to the podcast. Otherwise, it's just AI based podcast with a packed learning system. You see, there's a lot of depth and breadth of knowledge which is being shared. I'm making it with the help of artificial intelligence and voice notes. Um, the reason being it can pack in more knowledge, although I have to, kind of see each and every draft of what it's cooking up because as much as we like to dream of that artificial intelligence is the new heaven on earth or something like that, it isn't. It needs to be polished a lot. It makes a lot of errors, more errors than we choose to, at least at the moment. So I have reviewed all the drafts, just so you know. It's not like it is blindly published using artificial intelligence and a voiceover. So just pay attention, take notes, and I hope the learning is beneficial to you guys, whoever is listening, whoever is learning from these podcasts. Okay, so this particular voice note is about the Panchanga system. Now, this channel, as you might have realized, is more focused on the self and how the self is embodied in the human personality. And therefore, I'm taking a modern psychological approach also, bridging the Myers-Briggs model and the NLP model and the four temperaments model, all kinds of model, Enneagram model. There are lots of different kinds of bridges that I have tried to build in conjunction with the Vedic astrology. That is bringing it to the zodiac, bringing it to the Nakshatras specifically. Probably this is the only channel which has got the largest number of nakshatra devoted to it, but it is only from the personality aspect point of view because the soul, as much as there are so many people like to talk about soul, the soul is an abstraction. It is embodied only through the human personality. Whenever a soul has to arrive here, it has to arrive in the physical form, in a particular lineage, in a particular family, race, culture, and so on and so forth. So it is better that we use the self as embodied self within the shield or within the womb of personality itself. And that's the study and that's the effort here in this channel. So the interest of the young person who's coming and visiting this channel would be best served by understanding the personality of what drives them subconsciously, what drives them as a person, the innate drives, what you unconsciously are moving towards proactively, reactively, and so on. So I suggest when you are studying this Panchanga series, which is what this voice note is all about, I suggest when you study the personality using these podcasts of this channel, first always begin with Panchanga. Always, always, always. Because the Panchanga is the angular study of sun and moon in your chart. The main two luminaries in the astrology is sun and the moon. So we have the two cycles of the sun and moon, right? The Krishna side, which is going towards the waxing moon, the waning moon, and Shukla side, which is the waxing moon. So it goes between Amavasya and Purnima, the two cycles, 15 days of the moon cycles, ending in full moon and new moon respectively. So study the angles between sun and moon and why this is important. It is not almost, it is distinguishing between the soul, that is your sun, and the moon, that is your mind. What is the distance, so to speak, angular distance between your mind and your soul? That is the study of Panchanga. And it starts with the Vara, as you have seen in this playlist. This whole playlist, I'm sticking this video there. The entire playlist of Panchanga, including all the case studies of celebrities to help you understand that better, how it plays out or played out in their lives, is to see which day of the week a person was born, that is the Vara, then the Tithi, Yoga, and Karana, which is the manifestation of the angles between the sun and the moon, and then finally the ascendant nakshatra. These are the five elements: the Vara, the Tithi, Yoga, Karan, and the nakshatra. Ascendant nakshatra is what I am considering for the purposes of these studies. So always study the Panchanga elements first and then move on to the nakshatra part and the other playlists. Okay. Then move on to the subconscious part. Because the Panchanga elements are, in my opinion, at least what I have seen, the most neglected part of Vedic astrology. And it's probably one of the most important guidelines because the Panchanga element as it is in your chart is for your life. It is not dependent on Mahadashas. It is not dependent on specific time periods in your life. It is throughout your life. Doesn't matter which dasha you're running or what planets are in your chart and how they are positioned. This is the Panchanga importance. So the self as personality first do the Panchanga analysis and then move on to the subconscious and the NLP and the eclectic astrology part of the channel. Okay. Make sure you do that first. Take care. Watch this entire series. I hope you take notes. I hope you learn a lot. And if you are having something which you want me to bring forth with the podcast, just put it in the community tab. Take care. Be safe.
Conscious Astrology Integrating Yoga. Hi, welcome to Consciousness Podcast. In this season, we analyze the Hindu Vedic calendar system of Panchanga with respect to consciousness principles. We continue with yoga, the quality aspect, which plays a crucial role in understanding the deeper forces shaping how we navigate life, relationships, and challenges. Today, we explore Preeti Yoga. Let us begin. What is Preeti Yoga? Preeti Yoga, meaning fondness, represents joy, love, and the desire to connect and build meaningful relationships. Individuals born under this yoga have a charismatic and friendly nature that makes them well-liked and respected by others. They are often hardworking, sincere, and influential in social circles. However, their love for admiration and luxurious living can lead to excessive focus on appearances and strained family dynamics, especially in relation to their fathers or authority figures. Personality traits. Preeti-born individuals are joyful, affectionate, and generous. They thrive in environments where they can foster meaningful connections and bring positivity to others. Their ability to build strong relationships often leads them to success in leadership, social work, or any role that requires emotional intelligence and collaboration. However, they may struggle with self-worth if they become too focused on external validation or material achievements. Positive traits: charismatic, affectionate, and respected, skilled in building and maintaining strong relationships, hardworking and influential. Challenges: prone to boasting or over-focusing on appearances, may experience tension with authority figures or fathers, can become overly reliant on praise or validation. Consciousness principles for navigating Preeti Yoga. 1. Consciousness expands through genuine connection, not performance. Consciousness values authentic relationships built on sincerity rather than appearances or performances. Application: Preeti-born individuals may be tempted to overemphasize their achievements to gain admiration. Consciousness invites them to foster authentic connections rather than seeking validation. Practice meaningful conversations by focusing on active listening rather than self-presentation. Use affirmations such as, "I nurture genuine connections, not just admiration." Reflect on relationships that provide emotional security rather than just social status. Number 2, consciousness finds self-worth in inherent being. Consciousness thrives when self-worth comes from within rather than from external approval or material success. Application: Preeti individuals may tie their self-worth to recognition and material achievements. Consciousness encourages them to cultivate self-acceptance independently of external praise. Engage in daily self-reflection to appreciate qualities that exist beyond external achievements. Use affirmations such as, I am enough as I am, to reinforce intrinsic self-worth. Practice self-care rituals that honor their personal joy and peace. 3. Consciousness seeks balance between giving and receiving. Consciousness integrates relationships by fostering a balance of giving and receiving in emotional exchanges. Application. Preety-born individuals often enjoy giving generously, but may neglect their own emotional needs. Consciousness reminds them that receiving is also an act of love. Practice receiving compliments or acts of kindness without deflection. Reflect on moments where accepting support strengthened relationships. Use affirmations such as, I give and receive love with grace and gratitude. 4. Consciousness finds joy in purposeful generosity. Consciousness thrives on sharing abundance with purpose rather than seeking validation through generosity. Application. Preety-born individuals may give excessively to be seen as kind or generous. Consciousness invites them to align their generosity with purpose and intention. Reflect on motivations behind acts of giving to ensure they come from joy rather than obligation. Participate in purposeful service activities that align with personal values. Use affirmations such as, I give with purpose and joy, to reinforce intentional generosity. Suggested consciousness actions to overcome Preeti Yoga challenges. 1. Authentic connection practice. Schedule time for deep conversations with loved ones, focusing on listening rather than sharing accomplishments. 2. Self-worth reflection. Journal daily about intrinsic qualities that are valuable independent of achievements. 3. Gratitude receiving ritual. Practice accepting compliments or help with a simple thank you to cultivate the habit of receiving without deflecting. 4. Purposeful giving exercise. Choose one act of kindness each week that is aligned with personal values, such as volunteering or helping someone in need without expectation. By aligning with these consciousness-aligned actions, Preety-born individuals can transform their charm and generosity into a balanced approach that fosters authentic relationships, inner peace, and meaningful connections. This allows them to navigate life with joy and purpose, creating harmony in their personal and social spheres. Conscious Astrology, Integrating Yoga, Shobhana Yoga. Hi, welcome to Consciousness Podcasts. In this season, we analyze the Hindu Vedic calendar system of Panchanga with respect to consciousness principles. We continue with yoga, the quality aspect, which plays a crucial role in understanding the deeper forces shaping how we navigate life, relationships, and challenges. Today, we explore Shobhana Yoga. Let us begin. Shobhana Yoga Overview. What is Shobhana Yoga? Shobhana Yoga, meaning splendor, represents beauty, charm, and refinement. Individuals born under this yoga possess a natural elegance and radiance that make them stand out in social settings. They are often gifted with creativity, sensuality, and a love for aesthetics. Shobhana-born individuals are drawn to art, beauty, and luxury, and they often rise to prominence due to their artistic talents and magnetic personalities. However, they may face early criticism or challenges in relationships, particularly related to emotional vulnerability. Personality traits. Shobhana-born individuals are charismatic, attractive, and artistic. They have an eye for detail and a passion for creating beauty in their surroundings, whether through art, design, or interpersonal interactions. They are determined and capable of rising from setbacks, using challenges as fuel for growth. However, their focus on appearance and external validation can sometimes make them overly self-conscious or prone to feeling unworthy when criticized. Positive traits: creative, artistic, and charming, determined and resilient despite criticism, skilled at cultivating beauty and harmony. Challenges: prone to seeking validation through appearance or achievements, may struggle with insecurity due to early life criticism, vulnerable to emotional highs and lows, particularly in relationships. Consciousness principles for navigating Shobhana Yoga. 1. Consciousness thrives in inner beauty, not just outer splendor. Consciousness seeks harmony by nurturing both inner qualities and outer expression. Application: Shobhana-born individuals may become overly focused on their external image, fearing judgment. Consciousness encourages them to cultivate inner beauty through self-acceptance and self-love. Practice self-reflection to affirm qualities beyond appearance or achievements. Use affirmations such as "my beauty shines from within." Engage in activities that nurture emotional growth and self-acceptance. 2. Consciousness seeks growth through self-worth, not external validation. Consciousness finds joy in self-worth that is independent of praise or criticism. Application. Shobhana individuals may rely on external validation for a sense of self-worth. Consciousness invites them to embrace their intrinsic value regardless of others' opinions. Practice daily affirmations such as "I am worthy as I am." Reflect on moments where personal efforts, not external feedback, led to pride and fulfillment. Engage in creative activities for personal joy rather than external approval. 3. Consciousness balances sensuality with emotional depth. Consciousness integrates sensory pleasures with emotional connections to create balanced relationships. Application. Shobhana-born individuals may prioritize aesthetic or romantic ideals over genuine emotional connection. Consciousness reminds them that depth strengthens beauty. Cultivate emotional vulnerability by sharing honest feelings with trusted loved ones. Reflect on how meaningful conversations enhance connections. Use affirmations such as "I nurture both emotional depth and external beauty." Consciousness expands through resilience and self-expression. Consciousness finds strength in rising from setbacks and expressing creativity as a form of healing. Application. Shobhana individuals often face early setbacks that test their resilience. Consciousness encourages them to view setbacks as catalysts for self-expression and growth. Use creative outlets such as journaling, painting, or storytelling to process emotions. Reflect on how past challenges have shaped personal strength and creativity. Use affirmations such as "I rise stronger and shine brighter through every challenge." Suggested consciousness actions to overcome Shobhana Yoga challenges. 1. Self-worth journal. Write down intrinsic qualities and achievements unrelated to external validation to reinforce inner value. 2. Gratitude for setbacks practice. Reflect on a past setback and list the lessons learned or strengths gained from the experience. 3. Heart-centered conversations. Schedule time for meaningful conversations with loved ones to nurture emotional depth. 4. Creative expression ritual. Dedicate time weekly to creative expression, e.g., art, dance, or poetry, with the intention of joy and healing rather than perfection. By aligning with these consciousness-aligned actions, Shobhana-born individuals can transform their love for beauty and refinement into a balanced approach that integrates inner self-worth, emotional connection, and resilience. This allows them to shine authentically and use their creative brilliance to inspire and uplift both themselves and those around them. Conscious Astrology, Integrating Yoga. Hi, welcome to Consciousness Podcasts. In this season, we analyze the Hindu Vedic calendar system of Panchanga with respect to consciousness principles. We continue with yoga, the quality aspect, which plays a crucial role in understanding the deeper forces shaping how we navigate life, relationships, and challenges. Today, we explore Vishkumbha Yoga. Let us begin. Vishkumbha Yoga Overview. What is Vishkumbha Yoga? Vishkumbha Yoga, symbolized as the pot of poison, represents discipline, resilience, and spiritual duty. Individuals born under this yoga are often deeply responsible and committed to upholding moral values, sometimes carrying significant burdens or responsibilities. Despite facing obstacles, they exhibit remarkable endurance and have an innate desire to protect and support others. However, this commitment can make them vulnerable to emotional isolation, legal troubles, or feelings of unfair punishment for minor errors. Personality traits. Vishkumbha-born individuals are disciplined, organized, and spiritually inclined. They often possess a strong sixth sense and an innate concern for the welfare of others, often engaging in humanitarian or spiritual pursuits. They tend to be non-materialistic and focused on creating meaningful contributions to society. However, their sense of responsibility can make them prone to stress and feelings of injustice if their efforts are unrecognized. Positive traits. Disciplined, responsible, and organized. Spiritually aware and intuitive, supportive and protective of others. Challenges. Prone to legal or bureaucratic obstacles. May feel burdened or punished for small mistakes. can become isolated or stoop to overwork due to emotional pressure. Consciousness principles for navigating Vishkumbha Yoga. 1. Consciousness seeks liberation from burdens. Consciousness thrives when burdens are viewed as lessons rather than punishments. Application. Vishkumbha-born individuals may internalize burdens as personal failures. Consciousness encourages them to see challenges as opportunities for growth and resilience. Practice daily reflections to identify lessons learned from challenges. Use affirmations such as, I rise through challenges with grace and strength. Reframe setbacks as stepping stones to spiritual and emotional growth. 2. Consciousness thrives in self-worth beyond duty. Consciousness has inherent self-worth and does not seek validation from external responsibilities. Application. Vishkumbha individuals may tie their self-worth to their responsibilities and achievements. Consciousness invites them to nurture their sense of value independently of their duties. Engage in self-care rituals that reinforce self-worth outside of work responsibilities. Use affirmations such as, I am worthy for who I am, not what I do. Reflect on inner strengths and qualities that exist regardless of external recognition. 3. Consciousness expands through surrender, not struggle. Consciousness grows stronger when surrender replaces the need to control every outcome. Application. Vishkumbha-born individuals may feel the need to control situations to prevent failure or injustice. Consciousness encourages them to surrender to the flow and trust the process. Practice guided meditations focused on surrendering control and accepting uncertainty. Visualize releasing the pot of poison, symbolically letting go of fears or guilt. Use affirmations such as, I trust the journey, even when I cannot see the destination. 4. Consciousness finds peace in spiritual alignment. Consciousness seeks alignment with higher values and thrives in peaceful, intentional living. Application. Vishkumbha individuals may experience restlessness if they stray from their spiritual alignment. Consciousness invites them to reconnect with their higher purpose to foster peace. Incorporate morning prayers, affirmations, or readings that align with spiritual goals. Spend time in nature or sacred spaces to restore inner balance. Reflect on the spiritual impact of their daily actions through gratitude journaling. Suggested consciousness actions to overcome Vishkumbha Yoga challenges. 1. Lesson recognition journal. Write down daily challenges and identify the lessons they offer. 2. Self-worth affirmation practice. Repeat affirmations, reinforcing intrinsic worth before starting work each day. 3. Letting go meditation. Dedicate 10 minutes daily to a guided meditation focused on releasing control and embracing trust. 4. Spiritual gratitude walk. Take a walk outdoors while silently reflecting on life's blessings and expressing silent gratitude for inner strength. By aligning with these consciousness-aligned actions, Vishkumbha-born individuals can transform their sense of burden into a balanced approach that fosters resilience, spiritual alignment, and inner peace. This allows them to navigate life's challenges with grace while creating meaningful contributions to their communities and personal well-being.